Today's top picks from our commentary arm, Reuters Breaking Views. Why 2 years on in the Madoff affairs mystery deepens. Why energy bankers may be 2011's hottest commodity. And why Arriva's listing is better late than never. Reuters Breaking Views editor Hugo Dixon is here to tell us more. Hugo, tragic news to the apparent suicide of Madoff's son. But you posed the question, really, how could one man do it?
Yes, I mean, that is still the big, in a way, the big unanswered question. I mean, how could, and indeed did, one man? Was it one man who really did this? I mean, obviously, Mark Madoff, who apparently committed suicide, he had been sued, not charged criminally, but sued by the trustee that's trying to recover money from the Madoff
There's
fraud.
a lot of writs flying now. Is that going to unravel the mystery more?
Well, it may. I mean, obviously, we won't hear anything from Mark Madoff himself, so that bit is we're not going to hear from. Then there's this woman in this Austrian banker, Sonia Cohn, who has been who's actually had a very serious charges brought. I mean, under again. This is from the trustee, not criminal charges, and they've been denied, but that she was actually a sort of a... She was completely in hock with Madoff and was getting kickbacks for funneling money to his business, but was also involved in laundering money. So there's quite... And this suit has been brought under the US racketeering legislation. So there are... we may find out more from that, but it is a big mystery. Could one person really have done this?
So a massive web potentially yet to be unravelled, really.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's go on to the bankers in the oil and gas business who could find themselves, you reckon, in 2011 in great demand. Not enough of them.
Yeah. Demand up, supply constrained, therefore price goes up. Elementary economics. There are apparently, this is a piece by Rob Cox, our US editor, apparently 24 unfilled managing director positions in oil and gas in Houston alone.
But he's saying here, though, it helps, as they used to say in Dallas, if they've been in the oil business and wear a Stetson and stuff. Yeah, they actually want people who've come out of that background.
Well, they seem to want that, and they want them who have a bit of oil expertise themselves and a few grey hairs. So if you put all that together, it's actually quite difficult. That's why the supply of bankers that fit those sort of characteristics is rather constrained. And so those who can fit the characteristics, and there's this guy who was a former UBS guy who's rumoured to have got a $30 million deal. So that's a sort of sign of the times. M&A may not be booming elsewhere, but in the oil business, it's 21% of total global activity, which is a record.
But you've got to like Houston as well. What about Arriva?
Arriva has finally arrived, or is about to. I mean, this is better late than never story. Arriva, which is the French nuclear power manufacturer, has been so completely hobbled by French politics. And finally, though, the government has agreed to go ahead with this listing. And that was something that Kuwait, I mean, they needed the money, and Kuwait is willing to inject money. Qatar was also sniffing around, but they didn't like the deal. But Kuwait said, oh, we'll put the money in, provided you list. And so finally, we've actually got a sensible solution for this company.
So Arriva arrives in time for Christmas. Hugo Dixon, Reuters Breaking Views, thank you very much for joining us today. Don't forget the US edition of Reuters Breaking Views, which goes out later today, and also our bulletins on the hour throughout the day. I'm Steve Clark. This is Reuters.